Hi everyone, it's Kelly here from spiritualawakeningsigns.com, your spiritual awakening guide, and today's class is really exciting. It's all about the 5D light body and how you can physically integrate it, bring in that higher energy into your physical body so that your physical body gets to ascend too. So it's going to be a pretty exciting topic and I can't wait to get into it. What you're going to learn in this video is the basics first. What actually is the light body? People talk about it a lot, but we don't always really know. We're going to cover what the light body actually is, what is 5D reality, and why do we even need to bother shifting to it in the first place, the benefits that we can get of this light body integration, and how to raise your energetic frequency, the frequency of your body, so that you can match your ascended self, so that those two things can be on the same level. I'm going to get to that in a moment, but first I'm really excited to announce that this month's new meditation is called the DNA Upgrade. It's now available. It's a meditation created to help you to integrate your light body, to upgrade your DNA for the shift that we're going through, and to activate dormant 5D abilities. It's only available for the next 7 days, and I'll link to it in the comments below and you can see if it's a fit for you. On with the video. So let's get started with some of the more simple terms. So we're talking 5D light body, and it's a real buzzword in the spiritual community now. You hear it being used quite often, and over the last few years it's become more popular. And we've been encouraged to kind of anticipate this earth-shattering moment when our physicality will shift and will be blissfully upgraded to 5D reality in this heavenly 5D vibration. But unfortunately, that expectation actually does us a massive disservice. It leads us to the assumption that we will get to that 5D vibration without any conscious effort on our part, and worse still, that it'll happen really in a moment and everything will change. It'll be all rainbows and butterflies, and I'm sorry to tell you that that's not quite right. That's wrong. It doesn't happen that way. So I want to give you a realistic view of what really happens when you go through the awakening process, so that you know what to expect and how to handle it when it does. The shift to 5D really is a wonderful thing. It's an amazing experience, but it won't happen overnight, and it won't happen without your active participation. So let's get into it and start ushering in that higher vibration with conscious, focused intent. Let's get started. And feel free to say hello, guys. I can see a few of you are watching already, so say hello and I'll say hello back. It's nice to know you guys are here. So let's start with the basics. What is the light body? The light body, to put it simply, is your higher vibrational self. It can sound really complicated when you're maybe reading about it online, but it's just that higher part of you. It's the true spiritual essence of who you really are, without all of the damage, the karma, the negative beliefs and the programming that you've picked up throughout all of your lifetimes. Think of it like the ascended master version of you. It resonates a lot higher, and it has access to so much wisdom because it has complete clarity. It's not weighed down by the illusions of earthly life. And our aim during awakening is to embody that higher part of ourselves as fully as possible as we can while we're here in the physical realm, but it's a continual practice. It's not necessarily a one-time milestone, but it does get much easier as the awakening process continues. So let's talk about 5D reality. What really is it, and why do we need to shift to it? Well, at this present moment, the earth is shifting into 5D. And that sounds complicated, but if we're being really simple about it, it's just a higher vibration than before. Think of it a bit like Gaia going through a reincarnation into her next life. It's Mother Earth changing to this different frequency, and as she changes to a different energetic frequency, so must we. Otherwise, we risk being incompatible with our environment. And it calls for the evolution of our DNA in order to adapt to this new, lighter, more positive environment. The light body activation is the physical body's awakening. So Our bodies are being upgraded to their next level of existence too. Think of it like your physical body goes through a reincarnation. It's physically upgrading to the next level of existence. That means less darkness, less pain, less challenge, less struggle. We're leaving a lot of the old learning experiences in the past, and we're leaving all the pain and the difficulty behind. There will still be some learning to be done as we move through the awakening process, but we'll be learning in more gentle, compassionate and harmonious ways, which is good news for all these light workers. And there are amazing benefits to this light body integration when you can connect with that higher part of yourself and make it shine through the physical vessel. There are amazing benefits that come when you really make that shift. So we're talking about things like heightened senses, taste, touch, smell, sight, sound and intuition. It's all upgrading to higher level. Improved physical health, so healing or improvement of health problems. Improved mental and emotional health too, so healing of long-term issues, behavioural patterns and even trauma. That's all starting to shift. It's not coming with us to this new vibration. Feeling a happier and more balanced mood, feeling more youthful, looking more youthful and having a healthy appearance. That's really noticeable when people go through awakening. Having manifestation abilities, because that's our birthright. That's something we're all meant to be able to do. We've just become a little bit cut off from it and we're needing to raise back up. Having an increased compassion, understanding and love for others, and awareness of your life purpose or your soul mission, which is really valuable if you can get to that. And more conscious awareness and control of yourself and of your behaviours, becoming a more aware individual so that you're aware in your thoughts, aware in the words you speak, aware in your actions, so that you know exactly what's going on at all moments. That's a true master of the environment. So there are amazing benefits of this light body integration, and I'm sure from hearing those you probably think they all sound pretty awesome, which they are, and we absolutely can have all of those awesome abilities. That's a possibility for us, and most leaders in the spiritual community will tell you that you need to activate your light body in order to achieve those results. You don't have to activate your light body at all. Your light body was already activated from the moment you began your awakening process. It was already activated and on full power, and it's always there, but it's kind of waiting for you to claim it, to embody it within your physical self. It's there, it's your birthright, but you've got to claim it. You've got to do something to meet that energy halfway. And in order for us to gain access to that evolutionary birthright, we have to integrate it. We have to physically integrate it with our current human body. And the blueprint for all of these abilities lies dormant. It's in your DNA. All you have to do is create the right environment for it. And there are a few things that we can do to make that happen. So we're going to cover those next. Hi Rashawn, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. It's lovely to have you here. And hi to everyone else who's watching. Thanks for watching live, guys. Right, so the things that we can do to help that integration. First of all, you need to realise that your physical body has to ascend too. That's a really important point that not many people cover. It is a rarely covered truth in the spiritual community, but your physical body has to ascend too. And it's the most often neglected part of the awakening process. And I've seen it keep people stuck in their ascension for years with all those challenging physical and emotional symptoms, literally for years. And we tend to consider that the spiritual part of awakening doesn't involve the physical at all. We think that if we can just ascend and get away from the earth, get away from all this drama, that everything's going to be alright. But in truth, that can't happen. That can never happen, because we are here on the earth. And refusal to accept that vital other half of yourself is going to keep you stunted in your spiritual growth for as long as it takes for you to get with the program and make that realization. And there's a note attached to this. It's that the universe doesn't care how long it takes you. Time does not exist as far as the universe is concerned, so it doesn't matter how long it takes you. So it's only you that's going to suffer by not making that awareness and realization and taking it on board and doing something about it. Your physical body is the physical expression of the divine, so express it. express it through your physical body. Create the right foundations to support your physical body through this shift so that it can shimmer with that beautiful celestial light that you came here to shine. You came here to bring that, and you need to do it through this because there's no other way to do it here. You know, you've got to do it through the physical vehicle. That's why you're here in person and not up above, making, you know, helpful gestures from up above. You're down here in amongst it because you're supposed to physically integrate it. You're supposed to take action. So another thing that we can do to help this process along is to acknowledge the fragility of the human body. Human frailty is a really tough thing to accept, particularly when you know so deeply within your own self that you're not really human at all. And when awakening lifts that veil of amnesia, just being present in the physical body can feel completely wrong. It feels like a lie because we know somewhere within our souls that we are all powerful, and to find yourself in a vehicle so tenderly fragile can be traumatizing, to say the least. But it's in acknowledging the delicate nature of life, of realizing that that is a miracle in and of itself, that helps us to see divinity through physicality. Because how else can you experience divinity here on earth? It has to be through a physical vehicle in some form. And there are a lot of people out there that need help who won't have access to the higher spiritual heights that you have. You have to give them something grounded on the earth plane that they can see it through, they can connect to it through, and that can be you, or through the things that you do, but it's got to come through the physical. And similarly so, a transition as powerful as the shift from 3D to the 5D vibration, it can take a massive, massive toll on the body, and you have to honour, protect and support this temporary vehicle by taking really good care of it for the time that you've got it. And the physical difficulties and the symptoms that you're experiencing are signs that your body is struggling to keep up. It's struggling to upgrade. So things like fatigue, nausea, dizziness, aches and pains, temperature fluctuations, and even brain fog, they're all signs that your body is crying out for help to hold that higher resonance. And ironically, it's this vulnerability, this human fragility that called us to earth in the first place. When we were on the other side, it was that fragile nature of the human being that made us want to come and help. But ironically, we came here with a passion and with purpose to serve all these other beings, but we neglect the human being inside of us because we don't feel like it's true to who we are. We just kind of push it to the side. What we really need to do is to start accepting the human being inside of ourselves, the human that's here to be, so that you can project all this wonderful love and light, and you can make it a tangible thing. You can bring it to someone in a way that they can understand and that they can know. That's really helping. That's really making a difference in the world. Okay, so the other thing that we can do is embody the vibration that you want to be. Now this is a really important part that I want to cover. If you want to integrate the 5D part of yourself, you need to become a similar vibration. It's no use hanging out in negative environments and consuming unnatural substances, eating junk foods full of chemicals. You know, there's a reason why most spiritually enlightened individuals drink only pure water and they avoid technology, they consume a plant-based diet generally, they meditate regularly, they use all natural products. There's reasons why they do that. It's because they feel the vibration of the products and the things that they're consuming, and they know the lightness of that vibration, and they don't want to engage in things or consume things that are only going to bring density. Now I'm not saying you need to go and hang out in an ashram for months and, you know, eat nettle soup, but unless that's something that calls you, but a few simple changes are all it really takes to help raise that vibration to be closer to where you actually want to be. But it's important to note that it takes time. It really does take time. And I know I'm the bearer of bad news on that because we all want everything right now, and I've been there too, but it does take time, and it's a continual progression towards that higher state of being. There are no shortcuts, and please be wary of anyone who says that there are. There are no shortcuts in this, but the good news is that you will feel when you've suddenly made a shift. You'll feel the shifts that you're making, and you'll sense and you'll know that you've hit the next checkpoint, and your health will improve, or you'll experience a sense of joy, or perhaps you'll just feel like you're glowing from the inside out and other people will be able to recognise it. It's an absolutely beautiful feeling, and it's one of the great joys of awakening to literally feel yourself lightening up. Don't forget that. And it's about the journey, it's about the climb. It's when you finally manage to peek over one of those mountain tops, those little mountain peaks, and the grandeur of existence really takes your breath away. You see how far you've come, you see the path that you're on, you get that enlightened moment where you're like, wow, look at what's happening, this is incredible. That is so worth it. Don't forget that. You know, it's once you get to the end of the pathway, there's always something else that you want. Enjoy the journey, because it's an incredibly precious and rare thing to go through this experience. But if you'd like some help with it, our new meditation can help. So it's called the DNA upgrade, and there's a few different things that it'll do for you. So first of all, it's going to elevate the energy of your DNA to activate dormant spiritual and physical abilities, so all those benefits we were talking about before. And this is really about taking us back to the blueprint of who we were in Atlantis. You know, we had all these abilities, we had this higher kind of rate of vibration in Atlantis, and we fell from that, and now we're coming back again. So it's about, you know, setting you back up to that level where you had all your gifts and abilities, as you should. It'll also raise your physical body's vibration to match your soul's ascended resonance. So it's about recognizing that you've already awoken. Your physical body needs to come up to meet that vibration of that spiritual part of you, so that they're both perfectly level. Otherwise you tend to tip. It's also going to anchor your light body to your 3D body, so that you can express your divinity right here, right now in the physical world. It's going to release old earth patterns, so that's like density, negative beliefs, self-imposed limitations, and it's going to replace it with the new earth reality. So this 5D vibration we're talking about, where things are a lot more positive, things move a lot more smoothly, they're more harmonious, it's easy. And we're going to teach your body to maintain a state of optimum health by resonating at that higher frequency. You tend to find that as people become more enlightened, they become less prone to ill health, aches and pains and ailments. Generally they keep a lot healthier because their body's resonating on something a little bit higher. So that's the DNA upgrade. If you haven't done any of our meditations before, you'll be able to see the link that I put below to the sales page. When you have a look at that, there's actually an option to try a free mini meditation, so you can actually sample it and get some healing and a few changes just to see and get a feel for exactly what it's like. But basically it's an energy healing session, and it's channeled directly from a source of really high vibrational guides who are dedicated to assisting us on the awakening pathway. It's a pre-recorded video full of healing, clearing and energetic adjustments. It's a calm and relaxing meditation, and it's completed within 15 minutes. So it's really short, really easy to just get those changes in place and get on with it. It's also a safe way to enter a Theta Brainwave. So that's the natural relaxed state that is responsible for healing, rest and recuperation. So we're actively able to take you into that for a little while to allow your body to kind of reset. And it can be used regularly to keep you in balance, or any time that you experience those physical awakening symptoms, just to help your body to adjust a little bit to the shift. So like I said, you can try out the free meditation sample on the link that I'll paste below. I'll put it in the comments so that you can have a look at it and see if it's a fit for you. But remember, it's only available for the next 7 days. And thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, pop them in the comments box and I'll get back to them. Even if it's afterwards and we're not live anymore, that's no problem. And thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.